What's up, guys? This is Rise, and welcome to another video where we are going to be going through some of the top teams submitted by amazing trainers, some of the top trainers around the world, for you to get started in your Go Battle League Season 17. There have been tons of new updates. If you missed them, check out my last video where we went over all the updates and what you're going to want to be looking for, and some team ideas. Some are going to be more meta, some a little more spicy to have some fun, impress your friends, your local Facebook groups, your local Discords with the new PvP season. Without further ado, let's get into it. And our first submission comes from, he's half Pato, he's half man, he is the Pato man. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I'm going to be going with it for my fellow NBA fans. There was a player named Vince Carter back in the day. They said he's half man, half amazing. So I tend to do that with Pato man, even if it doesn't make sense. But he is certainly one of the best that ever was. He has, this kid, if you're not following the Play Pokemon circuit, 3 regionals he's played. He was runner-up, and then just won the Gdansk Regional Championship. Absolutely cracked. Now, he's running the newly buffed Talonflame with Incinerate and Fly. Fly versus Brave Bird Rise, which one should I go with? I think you can go with either. Brave Bird's going to give you those more one-shot opportunities to really flip games when there's no shields remaining in the back. So I think Brave Bird still has merit, but Fly is going to be less energy. You can potentially get more of them off, and you can also double up on Fly. You cannot double up on Brave Bird because it's 55 energy. Of course, you can only store 100 energy. Fly is 45 energy. It's similar to Sky Attack pre-nerf. So Fly, you can actually double up on. And then, of course, double normal backline. Greedent receiving the move Trailblaze is now going to be a much better counter to Lantern, and also can really threaten things like Swampert more effectively, because you can threaten to one-shot a Swampert as opposed to before. You need at least 2 body slams, maybe even 3. And Vigoroth now with the Rock Slide, a Pokemon you're going to see on a couple of these teams. Just a much more energy efficient move than Bulldoze. We joke about in the comments how if I had $1 every time where I said Bulldoze is a bad move. But Rock Slide, a much more efficient move, and also will help Vigoroth against flyers such as Mandibuzz, such as Pidgeot, and also it avoids it from being walled against things like Drifblim. So there is the team from Mr. Patoman. Number 2 team comes from Mr. Tonton Tatus, a Frenchman, the former European International Champion, or reigning European International Champion, I should say. And a recent runner-up in Gdansk. He's running Arctibax, Cresselia, and Sandygast, a spicy pick. So Arctibax recently was introduced to the meta. It's a very strong dragon. It has a little bit more bulk than some of your flimsy dragons like a Shadow Dragonite, and it has that hard-hitting Avalanche. Now, Arctibax also just got access to Icy Wind, so I know some of you guys love your debuffs. You just debuff everything you can. So if you want to run Icy Wind on Arctibax, that's an option as well. I personally like Avalanche a little better just because it's super hard hitting and more threatening. But Icy Wind has merit as well. It's not going to do as much damage as Avalanche, but it is going to debuff your opponent's attack every time. And then Cresselia as a safe swap. Cresselia usually one of the better safe swaps in the Great League, unless they have something like a Registeel that's going to completely wall it. Oftentimes does really well as a safe swap. And then Sandygast, I think Tonton said it's more of a spice pick for him. He loves his spice if you've seen him play in regionals and stuff, but it's more of a hard check to things like Medicham or Vigoroth specifically, because he thinks there's going to be more Vigoroth safe swapping these days since the Rock Slide buff, and Sandygast just completely walls Vigoroth, resists everything. So there you have the team from Mr. Tonton Tatus. We're going to team number 3. A friend of mine, Mr. A Mind Joke. Alessio is consistently one of the top performing trainers in European regionals, has gotten so close several times now, and I think it's only a matter of time before he breaks through and becomes a regional champion. Gligar, Lickitung, Vigoroth, one of the more meta teams we're seeing here, and Gligar and Lickitung already a solid core that cover each other quite nicely. Gligar going to be good against the Medicham, Lickitung a terrific safe swap, and if Lickitung can lure out the Medicham, it's going to really open things up for Vigoroth, because you would think on most teams, Medicham is going to be the best answer to Lickitung, and that could really open up Vigoroth in the back. Yeah, so pretty straightforward ABB line. Your anti-fighter and then 2 things weak to fighting in the back. We're going to see more things like Toxicroak as well. So Toxicroak, if that's lured out by Lickitung, that's actually really good because then you can farm it down with Gligar, or you've even flip switch in the Zero Shield scenario, and then Vigoroth is free to roam in the back. Vigoroth, first time it's going to be a real threat in the Great League meta. Vigoroth has always been a staple in like restricted metas, but first time in open Great League, it might get some play. One of the best battlers in the world, Miss Palasha, along with Pato Man and Vani, one of the top Spanish trainers, and consistently has made her mark in multiple formats, being an exceptional battler. She is running Deoxys Defense, Dugong, and Arctibax as her team of 3 to help get you some elo to start off this Great League season. And Deoxys Defense, of course, pretty common pick in the Great League meta, and it's a very simple ABB line, similar to a Mind Jokes line. However, it's different because you got 2 ice types, and Dugong is a very cheeky ice type that you can safe swap. And if you lure out something like a Water Gun Lantern, Dugong can flip that because those drill runs are threatening. If you lure out a Registeel, Dugong can potentially flip that. If you lure out a Metacham, you can debuff it a few times, get a huge counter down, use that energy to threaten whatever comes in, and then maybe Arctibax, once you've lured out the fighter, can sweep in the back line. I put Icy Wind on this Arctibax. Once again, kind of up to your discretion. You can run Avalanche, you can run Icy Wind. However, in the back, I feel like Icy Wind has a lot of good closing potential because, as you guys might know if you watch my videos, I think it's just so strong when you have a Pokemon in the back and they only have 1 Pokemon remaining on the other side, and you can debuff it and they can no longer clear that debuff. It makes it really hard for your opposition to win those matchups. That's the team from Palasha, a former regional champion, recent top 4, I forget. And now we move on to Mr. Arceus Aurelius, a fellow content creator, a terrific battler. I met him in Japan for the first time, and he's running Toxicroak with new Shadow Ball, Lickitung, and Carbink. 2 very bulky beasts in the back. And Toxicroak now with Shadow Ball going to be even stronger against things like Metacham, going to have that hard-hitting neutral move that not a whole lot resists. And one thing with Shadow Ball Toxicroak is there are some matchups it will actually not benefit from, such as Mandibuzz, you no longer can hit for Sludge. Azumarill, you don't have the super effective Sludge Bomb, but honestly, double Shadow Ball plus the counter damage probably might knock out anyway. So I think overall, Shadow Ball is an upgrade, but there are matchups where Shadow Ball is a downgrade. So I don't think Shadow Ball is like a must-have per se for Toxicroak. I think we're going to see as this meta develops, but I think Shadow Ball is like, it's like a slight upgrade, but it's not like necessarily you have to run Shadow Ball. I think Sludge Bomb and Dynamic Punch still have play, but I would still lean towards that Shadow Ball as number 1. Also, the ability to threaten Frostlass is kind of nice. To one-shot a Frostlass, to one-shot a DD. I mean, you don't one-shot from full health, but if the DD's been chipped a little bit, could potentially knock it out. And then, of course, Lickitung, Carbink, you're a little ABA weak to things like Mandibuzz, maybe like a normal flyer. So a little bit of an more of an ABA line, I would say. But Carbink, of course, just so strong, so bulky, and Lickitung, a common staple in the Great League meta. We only have 1 team left. We are breezing through this. We are flying through this. And the last team comes from Mr. Nickname, the Bremen Regional Champion from the first ever season of the Play Pokemon Regional Championship Circuit. And he's running Shadow Dragonair with double ground in the back. Clodsire and Swampert. I heard he likes to run Clodsire as the safe swap. It's definitely safer than Swampert, I would say. And with Mudshot Stone Edge, you're not going to get walled by things like Gligar. Versus if you're running like Poison Sting, Sludge Bomb, you could get walled by Gligar. And that could be kind of concerning. So Dragonair, going to try and win the lead if you can. If it's not a lead you think you can win, you safe swap the Clodsire. And then you farm down, hopefully, with Dragonair. And then have Swampert as your closer. You're also weak to Fairy in the lead. So theoretically, if you see a Fairy in the lead, you might want to safe swap Swampert and risk that they don't have a grass type. Because if you swap Clodsire, they're probably going to have an answer for Clodsire. And then and then Swampert might not be able to do enough in back, but kind of a team that maybe you want to try out, and maybe you'll develop strategies based off what you see over time. I do coaching sessions and stuff, and some people have kind of obscure teams that they run, but it works for them because they see a lot of the same matchups and team compositions over time, and they slowly learn from them and improve and learn how to play those different situations as the GBL season goes on. There you have all the teams. Let's get all these teams stacked on top of each other. Great League badge. Look, oh my gosh. Okay, that looks kind of ugly. Sorry. My apologies. That was a bad idea. But thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, feel free to leave a like, comment down below. Let me know in the comments what team you are planning on running this Go Battle League season. And also, I'm going to be in Chicago this weekend playing in a bunch of local tournaments, so I have some videos scheduled ahead of time for you. I won't be back until Monday to post full-length videos of new content myself, but I do have some full-length videos scheduled ahead. So, I need your help. I need you guys to send me your battles via my YouTube short link in the description. If you see the first link right at the top, that's my full-length video submission. Send me those two. That's great. Won't get to those till Monday. YouTube shorts, I will be able to edit and post some on the road. So feel free to send me YouTube short battles. What's that? What does that mean, Rise? If you have one battle with your Icy Wind Wigglytuff where it went on a total sweep, or it 2-shield in the back with your new Scald buff Poliwrath, or maybe your Rock Slide Vigoroth went ham, send it to me, YouTube short submission, link in the description. All that said, thank you guys for watching. And also shout out to Inadequence and Crazy Filmmaker for the graphic. Couldn't do this without them. Go follow them on Twitter. All that said, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.